Okay, let's talk about an absolute classic. Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You've probably heard of it, right? It was written way back in 1989. But you know what? Its core ideas might be more important today than ever before, especially with the chaos of our modern world. So, what can a book from a totally different era teach us now? Well, let's find out.
I want to kick things off with a question that might sting a little. Are you busy or are you effective? It sounds so simple, but that question gets right to the heart of this anxiety a lot of us feel. I mean, we're all juggling a million things, our calendars are packed, we're always in motion, but is all that activity, all that busyness, actually moving the needle on what we really want in life?
And that feeling? It's been cranked up to 11 in what people are calling the new world of work. With remote jobs and being plugged in 24/7, the lines between work and home have just completely dissolved. It's gotten so much harder to really focus and feel like you're getting things done when the pings and the demands just never, ever stop. And look, this isn't just in your head, it's a real physical thing. This quote from a user on Reddit who switched from an active job to a desk job just nails it. It's such a jarring change that hits our health, our habits, and just our whole sense of well-being. So what do we do about all this? Well, this is where Covey's 7 Habits comes in, as this incredible, timeless framework. It's not about the quick fixes or the surface-level life hacks, what he called the personality ethic, like just being charming without having any real substance. Instead, Covey pushes for a huge paradigm shift, focusing on what he calls the character ethic. That's the deep-down stuff, like integrity, honesty, and real respect. So what the heck is a paradigm? Well, think of it like your personal mental map. It's the lens you use to see everything in the world. And here's Covey's big idea. To really change your life, you can't just change your actions, you have to change the map itself. These habits are all about working from the inside out, starting with who you are at your core.
And this whole journey of changing your map follows what Covey calls the maturity continuum. We all start out at dependence, right? Relying on other people. The first few habits are all about getting to independence, where you really master yourself. But the final goal, the most effective place to be, is interdependence, where you work with other people to achieve things you could never ever do on your own.
All right, let's get into that first stage, the private victory. This is all about you. Habits 1, 2, and 3 are the absolute bedrock for everything else. The idea is really simple. You can't build great relationships or teams until you've gotten your own house in order first.
So habit 1, be proactive. I love this idea that you are the programmer. See, most of us are reactive. We're just running on autopilot, letting things that happen to us control how we feel and what we do. Being proactive means you realize that between something happening and your reaction to it, there's a little bit of space. And in that space is your power to choose. You take responsibility and you focus only on the things you can actually control. Now we're at habit 2, and Covey kicks it off with this incredibly powerful question. Seriously, just take a second and really think about that. It's not supposed to be dark or depressing. It's the ultimate filter. It just cuts through all the noise and forces you to figure out what really, truly matters to you. And this is what habit 2 is all about. Begin with the end in mind. I mean, think about this analogy. You can be the busiest, most efficient ladder climber on the planet, but if your ladder is leaning against the wrong wall, every single step you take just gets you to the wrong place faster. This habit is about knowing your destination first so you can make sure you're climbing the right wall from the get-go. Okay, so that leads us right into habit 3, which is where the rubber meets the road. This is the famous urgent/important matrix. Most of us live our lives bouncing between quadrant I, putting out fires, and getting sucked into the urgent but not important distractions of quadrant 3. But here's the secret. Highly effective people, they live in quadrant 2. They intentionally spend their time on the important stuff that isn't a crisis. Yet, this is where the real magic happens. Planning, building relationships, personal growth. Let's bring this right back to that person on Reddit we were talking about. For them, in this new desk job, what's a perfect quadrant 2 activity? Exercise, right? It's super important for their long-term health, but it doesn't feel urgent on a Tuesday afternoon until it does and it becomes a health crisis. Proactive people schedule their priorities, like their health. They don't just react to problems. So once you've got that internal foundation set with your private victory, you're ready for the public victory. Habits 4, 5, and 6 are all about shifting from me to we, moving from being independent to being truly interdependent, and finding success with other people. Habit 4 is think win-win.
And look, our whole society is pretty much built on a win-lose script. For me to win, you have to lose. But a win-win mindset is a total game changer. It's not about being a pushover. It's about being brave enough to look for a solution that benefits everyone. It comes from believing there's enough success to go around for all of us. And honestly, it's the only way to build relationships that actually last.
So how do you even get to a win-win? Well, that takes us to habit 5. And man, this one is maybe the hardest of them all. Just read that line. Listen with the intent to understand, not with the intent to reply. Most of us don't really listen. We're just waiting for our turn to talk, thinking about what we're going to say next. This is about practicing empathetic listening, trying to genuinely see the world through the other person's eyes before you even think about making your own point.
And when you can combine that win-win attitude with real, empathetic listening, that's when you get the magic of Habit 6, synergize. Synergy is just a fancy word for creative cooperation. It's that idea that 1 + 1 can equal 3, or 10, or 100. It's when you truly value that people have different viewpoints, and you work together to create something new, something better than any one of you could have come up with alone.
All right, we've come to the last habit. This is the one that makes all the other 6 actually work for the long haul. Habit 7 is sharpen the saw. It's all about personal renewal.
This whole habit boils down to what Covey calls the P/PC balance. P is for production. That's the result you want, the golden eggs. PC is for production capability. That's the thing that produces the results, the goose. It's a simple story, right? If you focus only on getting the eggs and you forget to feed the goose, pretty soon you're not going to have any eggs or a goose. In your life, you are the goose. You have to take care of yourself.
And sharpening the saw means regularly renewing yourself in these 4 key areas. The physical, which is exactly what our friends on Reddit were talking about, getting to the gym. The mental, by reading, learning, challenging your mind. The spiritual, by connecting with your deepest values. And the social/emotional, which is where you put all those public victory habits into practice to build strong relationships.
Now, it is so important to get this. This is not a checklist. You don't just do the 7 habits once and then you're done. You're effective forever. No, they are meant to be a continuous cycle of growth, what Covey calls an upward spiral.
And with every turn of that spiral, you integrate these ideas on a deeper and deeper level. You learn a principle, you make a real commitment to living it, and then you go out and do it. And each time you go through that cycle, your understanding gets richer and your effectiveness grows. It's a lifelong journey.
So let's bring this all home, right back to you, right now. I want to leave you with just one simple, actionable question that goes all the way back to that foundational first habit. Don't get overwhelmed trying to master all 7 at once. Just ask yourself this. What's one thing, one small thing, you will do proactively today to move yourself even just 1 inch in the direction you truly want to go?